meteorologist Stephen Jones.
Well, taking a look at our time lapse for this Saturday, you can see pretty much wall-to-wall sunshine, just a beautiful Saturday out there for the Concho Valley. And we're going into that evening. You can see we get that sunset, and under these clear skies that we're going to remain with tonight, going to cool off pretty nicely, similar to what we saw last night, towards that 50-degree mark is what I'm calling. Right now, only 65 here in town, still holding on to 70 towards the I-10 corridor for both Ozona and Sonora. The cool spot's going to be off towards the north, 64 for Ballinger, Robert Lee, as well as Sterling City. So about 6 degrees of spread right now across the entire Concho Valley. And looking at those dew points, much drier than what we saw yesterday. We were seeing in the 50s and 60s. Now we're in the 30s and 40s out there, with relative humidity indices also in those 30s and 40s, a couple of 50s here and there. But going into tomorrow, that's when we're going to start to watch the return of some of this moisture. Take a look at the moisture tracker here. You can see the green starting to return to the Concho Valley, especially as we go into Monday. And then those blues really going to be taking over the Gulf Coast, even some of those blues making their way up towards our area. So we're going to have the moisture in place before this next system works through. You can see that next shot of dry air as we go into Tuesday evening. And as we look at the upper level pattern, we're done with this low pressure system, but this next one is going to be working in, sending its energy our way by that Monday night into Tuesday time frame, especially with that moisture in place. Finally, by that midweek point, looks like we're going to start to see most of that moisture and energy work off towards the east, but still we're going to be looking out for some of that severe weather as we go into Monday night and Tuesday with that moisture in place. When we're looking at the severe weather outlook, like I said, that first one is off towards the east with that level 2 out of 5 risk. Here in Texas, just level 1 out of 5 over towards the Big Bend into El Paso as we're getting ready for this next weather system to work in. Maybe just an isolated shower over towards Crockett County, but looking like we avoided that today. As we go into Monday, this is how it changes. A big bullseye right over the Concho Valley for that level 2 out of 5 risk. Main risks are going to be that major hail and then high winds, and can't rule out an isolated tornado with the volatile atmosphere we're going to be dealing with. So that's why we're looking at Monday for this, with just all the ingredients in place for some of that weather to come back to the Concho Valley. So we're on the lookout for it. For right now, the Texas satellite, you can see most of the Lone Star State sitting with those clear skies. A couple of stray storms over towards the Big Bend. They're quickly dissipating, though. You can see here on the radar over the past few hours, you saw them fire up, but already starting to die off just a little bit. The rest of us across the Lone Star State sitting pretty much with clear skies overhead. And as we go into the Concho Valley, you can see a little bit better of a view on those storms. There was a little bit of hail over there closer to Fort Stockton, and even just a minor earthquake over there today. Luckily, we didn't feel it over here in the Concho Valley too far west and too weak. But as we go into that futurecast, you can see we're going to be on the lookout for those storms from the west tomorrow. Looking like a pretty nice day, partly cloudy skies. But Monday is where we're talking about for that moisture to be back in place. Take a look off towards the west as we go into Monday evening, about 5 p.m. or so. We're going to see those storms really starting to fire off about 4 to 5 p.m. Moving through the Concho Valley, and it looks like a couple rounds going to be moving through as we go into Monday night, and then even through Tuesday morning and into maybe Tuesday early afternoon before it clears out as we go into Tuesday evening. And that's when I think we're finally going to be done with some of these rain chances after we get through this next system and potential for some of that severe weather into the Concho Valley once again. So as we go into these overnight hours under these clear skies, nice and cool into the 50s, about 50 degrees, winds out of the southeast 5 to 10 miles an hour with these clear skies, so a little bit chilly out there. As we go into tomorrow, beautiful day once again, 81 degrees, pretty similar to what we saw today, maybe a couple more clouds in the sky, but overall not too bad. Winds still holding out of the southeast 5 to 15 miles an hour. And if you're looking to maybe grill out tomorrow, looking like a great day to do it. 5 p.m., 81 degrees, cooling off pretty quickly under those mostly clear skies though. 9 p.m. already going to be working down into those lower 70s. So as we go through the 7-day forecast, remember the big one's going to be coming in Monday night into Tuesday, where we see that big chance of rain coming to the area. Downpours could quickly bring a ½ inch to maybe 2 inches or more of rain if you fall under one of them. But in terms of temperatures, really holding around that 80-degree mark, while overnight lows holding around 60 into those upper 50s as well. That's going to be all for